So I had an opportunity to go back to my, pass through my hometown where I grew up in Plymouth, Wisconsin. And I don't know, you get those core memories of stuff that haven't thought about for years, and it just reminded me of times when I remember my kids would complain about having to walk like a couple blocks to school or whatever, and I always told them that I had to walk all the way across town, which is fine, but I thought I'd give them a visual representation of what that actually looked like. So I just hop on Google Maps here and figure out what that looks like. I don't know. Just one of those stupid things. I thought it might be interesting to see too, because I've never really looked at the Google Maps of my hometown, but so anyways, where I lived is well, now it's a parking lot. So, but yeah, there used to be a little old 110-year-old farmhouse that our family bought. It was right here, now much more in suburban type area, but I thought I would just map out the distance here, and so yeah, our driveway was right about here. Yeah, the church bought this. All of this was the road used to go through right here, and there were some houses here, but they needed a bigger church. They bought all that, and then a few years later, they bought out these two properties here. And you know what? None of you care. All right, I've already probably lost half of you at that. But get up in the morning, start my day. I'd always meet my friend on my way to school, because he lived just down the block. Well, down the way, so we head down this way. I'd usually meet him right around here because he lived up over this way. And we traveled down and about, pretty basic stuff, there's really not much to say, but I always remember this one day, that it was snowing. Whenever it would snow, we'd always stop over here. There used to be a bakery there. It was Bernie's Bakery, and they'd have these huge donuts. And you early in the morning, you get up, and those donuts are so nice, fresh and warm, and nice snowy walk. Wasn't anything like a nice, fresh, warm donut to help make the trip a lot more bearable. But yeah, we'd have to walk all the way across town, and I don't know. I think a lot of times my kids just thought, thought I was blowing smoke up their asses about, how about this trip, but this is the trip to the high school that I would have to take, every day unless it was like super cold out, and then I can get a ride. But otherwise, it was just nice long walk. Wasn't too bad, but this day it was there was a lot of snow, and it was pretty much fine until we hit right around here. None of these sidewalks were shoveled or anything at this point, Maybe a couple of the driveways were blowing out. Some were shoveled, some were snow blown, But man, I have to think that, it had to be at least knee deep at this point, But it's still early, So you don't really expect much out of that. But it was pretty heavy. Usually by this point, we're getting pretty cold. And we're coming up on the Piggly Wiggly here. Which sometimes if we were running if we were early, we were probably done with our donuts way back way back there, we might stop and actually pick up another one. You know, I'm just being kids fueled on sugar and caffeine most of the time. But yeah, we just keep our journey going until we got here. You know, and well, here we are. We're at the Plymouth High School, and you know, I'm sure a lot of people are just like, you know, what do you want on about, you know? But it wasn't until we got here we're like, there's no one here. And, you know, like, did we prank ourselves? Is this a Saturday? But no, it wasn't Saturday. It was middle of the week. But we head up to the front doors up here, and the doors are locked, and it's a snow day. You know, our kids run out the door, don't check the weather. School had been canceled. And interestingly enough, it ended up being we had to walk back. At which point we did stop at the Piggly Wiggly and get another donut because we needed the fuel. We also needed to warm up for a while. But I'd always tell the kids this, and they didn't think much of it, but that was a 1.3 miles one-way trip. Funny thing is, this segment here is all uphill. And to go back home to my house, up this, also uphill. So I'm probably one of the few parents that can actually tell their kids that I walked to school uphill both ways in a blizzard. So take that for what you will. Yeah. This has just been a really long dad joke, but it's true. Anyways, go for a walk. It's good for you. All right. Sorry. Really, sorry.